Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm Frances Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today it's a card that's been challenged to me by one of my customer, Barb. And it's something like this. I just did my pattern. I don't have the card done. We're going to do it as we go. And I bet it's an easier way to do that, but that's the way that I look at the thing. And it was in French, it was Cat Lausanne, something like that. And it was all in centimeters. So I'm going to do it in inch, and we're going to see how this turn out. So I try on a piece of 11 long, so a regular piece of cardstock. I didn't have a good result. So I'm using 12-inch long by 5.5. So again, it is 12 by 5.5. And again, if you look at the top where you see the eye there with the little circle, you click on that, you're going to have the link of my blog with all, where you can get all the measurement, plus I will have a printout for this. So we're going to score at 2, 4, 8, and 10. So again, you score at 2, 4, 8, and 10. We're going to remove this, and I don't like to measure, but this card I had to measure. So at the top here, we're going to mark, you know what, it's easier if we do it on our paper cutter. We're going to mark at the top 2 3/4. We're going to do a line right here. And the reason why I say it's easier, because we can do it there. Let me move that. So we get this at 2 3/4, and then we go at the bottom. So we know it's exactly the same. And I'm using a pencil, so if we have to erase, we can erase. Now, at each end, we're going to do the same thing. The first score there, you're going to put that right at the groove where it cut and the mark. So the mark is there. And then twist that so it go right at the groove where it cut and the mark there. So the mark is right by the groove in there. We're going to cut that, remove this, turn it around, do the same thing. Now you just go at your point in there, the first score. One's going to be the first score or last score, but we're doing each end the same thing. Now come over here. Repeat the same step, and again over here, like this. Okay, now that's where I had difficulty. What you need to do is mark 3/4. So if I go from my tip there and go 3/4, and I try to keep my ruler as straight as possible, and that's where that sometimes I struggle to have things straight. So I'm going to put a circle right here, and then twist this around, and again, oh, I forget one step, we're going to come back at 3/4, and now you're going to mark it 3/4 at each end, do a mark, and then come over here, and then your mark at 3/4. Now you're going to match this, and this. You're going to mark that, and that we're going to get off maybe a bit, but at least this is a good guide to get us going. And now we're going to do the same thing at the other end. 3/4. So both of ends are going to be done the same thing. So what you do at one end, you're going to do at the other end. I'm going to mark that right there, do my line, and mark that. Go at my line. The camera is in my way. Here it is. Okay, so this part we need to cut. What I done I put that right here. My score should be right at the 2 there, so it's right there. So really, you know, you need to start at 3/4. That's silly camera. And you're going to stop over here. It's 5.5 to have 3/4. It's going to be 4 3/4. Even if you stop before, it's easier to come back than if you go too much. Lift this up. And the best thing that I could do, for some reason, it's 1/2 inch. And I put that right here at the edge. So my line that I cut, I put it at my 1/2 inch mark. And I look where it started. Depends where you're going to put it. And I'm going to come here, stop, turn it around, start about there. As long as you get the start done, that's easier. Now we're going to come over here, do the same thing. Try to see where my line is. And come, oops, 1/2 inch. That seemed to be about the right measurement. And I bet it is an easy way for that, but I don't know what is the easy way. I'm the type that when I see something and I get a challenge like that, I'm dropping what I'm doing and I'm trying it. So now we're going to come here, go over here. You see my line was off a bit, but at least I had a good line. Oops. One thing that I forgot on this one, okay, this is going to go at the 2. You start at 3/4 and you go at 4 3/4. So now this triangle need to be removed. And now we're going to have that little handle there. And then the same over here. I don't like to pull on it because then it gives me those little, here we go. Now, if that happen, you get some line, then because you use a pencil, you can erase it easy. That's why I say it's much better to have a pencil and then you can erase it. It was not much. I was almost on my line. I don't want those little things. Okay, now over here, we're going to do the same thing. This one I was way off, a bit off. Here we go. And then I'm going to come right in here. Here we go. So that's the difficult part, to do the triangle handle there. Like I said, I bet it is the easiest way. I don't know it. Here we go. Now let's make this disappear. Okay, now the next step, it's another difficulty for me that I found. I'm going to use the heavy white cardstock because I'm going to watercolor a bit. And what I done, I put this over there. And each one of them is going to be different. And it's not a completely square. So that's why I'm going to mark this. Come over here with the other one. Oops. I have to flip this. Mark my center there. And come here. Now what I done, this is going to be the top. I'm going to have another layer on that. So I came here and cut it this way. I cut it right on top of the line. And this one's going to have to be trimmed a bit, so. And then my layer's going to be in Delightful Dijon. So what I'm going to do, take this, and you see it's kind of a diamond shape, so okay, we're going to cut this. And I could go on the paper trimmer and cut it, and for me this was easier. Okay, now let's see if this is gonna match before we do anything extra. You're gonna need your bone folder. You're gonna fold this. Then the handle, I call this the handle. Be careful when you fold it. Should match perfectly there. This should match in the center, and it does. So we're doing good so far. I bet you can see what's going to happen now. And you see this one, it's off a bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to give him a little haircut here. What I mean by a haircut, you just want to barely touch it. Okay, what's important right now is the Delightful Dijon. Make sure that it go in here. That don't seem right. Okay, that seemed very good. The only thing right here, it's a bit too big. It's better if it's too big than too small. Again, I'm going to give him a little haircut. Perfect. So when you trace it, you want to pay attention a little bit. Make sure this is going to open. Okay. Now, let's see our white here, if it matched pretty good. That looked very good. A little bit off here. And remember, the white we have to trim more. So what I did for the white, that's when I went. And I went just at the first line there, right at the gray. Then let's check that out. I just did one side, but that's going to give us a clue. Here we go. Now I should have paid attention which side that I cut. You have to pay attention which side you're cutting. I think that one already been cut, but it don't seem right. So we're going to start over just because I don't like what I'm adding. I'm going to show you a little bit of the easy way. And like I said, this is the heavy cardstock because I'm going to color. So we're going to trace this quick here. I'm wasting paper there. You could, you know, be a little bit more economic. Okay, now I'm going to go right at the line. Okay, now we have to remember which side we're doing. So we're going to do all four sides before we check it out. So I'm going to put that right at the edge there. Done. 1, 2. If you keep on turning on the same side, it's going to be easy. 3 and then 4. Very good. See, I get the perfect mat. Now what we're going to do, we're going to stamp the snowman, and I'm using the stamp set Christmas Magic. That's the stamp set I'm using. We're going to stamp our, okay, I want to make sure it's one way it fit better than the other, so let's see which way it is. Okay, that go this way. Okay, this way. So it's going to go this way. We're going to take our stays on. And that was the best image that I could find to fit on this triangle or rectangle or whatever it's called. And then I'm using the stamp set Star of Lights. And I am adding Pool Party, not Pool Party for this. Yes, Pool Party. We're going to do the little snowflake. I rub my stamp a little bit, but it's going to have to do. Now I'm using the Wink of Stella with the Pool Party. Just add a little bit and more in the bottom here. Here we go. And then we're going to do is nose in pumpkin pie. I forget the nose. You want to make sure that you're going to wipe this though in between your colors. Going to take this. Here's a little nose. Wipe that again. I got cherry cobbler. Cherry cobbler is going to be the scarf. And the mittens. You know what? I'm going to do the holly there. The little berries on the holly. And I think the mittens to go with our card, I'm going to use the paper denim. That's the paper of the cardstock that we use. Here we go. Now I get something that match. Cherry cobbler and paper denim go perfectly fine together. I'm going to add a little bit of blue in or is at. Not too much, you just want a little bit. Here we go. And then we're going to use the old olive for the holly. Here we go. How cute is she or E? Now let's assemble that. And the designer paper that I'm using the Prison and Pinecone on page 18. And that you're going to need 4 pieces that measure 5 and 3/8 by 1 7/8. Again, the measurement's going to be right at the top there. Just click that. It is 1 7/8 by 5 and 3/8. We're going to put one right here. So I just get a tiny little border. And right over here. I'm going to go on the side here. It's going to be easier for me. Here we go. Now open this up and we're going to do the same thing inside. So we're going to bring the party inside, we say. We're going to put that right here. And then the other one. Now my piece of white for the center, that one measure 4 and 1/8 by 5 and 3/8. I just wanted a tiny little border. And again, I'm going to stamp instead of, oops, I'm off. Whew. Here we go. Perfect. Instead of the little snowman inside, that stamp set get the trees in. And we're going to use the trees. And we're going to stamp that. Not in Stay-On. I'm going to use the deeper denim just to bring the blue back. I'm going to stamp that right there. That's pretty. And then I'm going to take my pool party and just do a little bit of snowflake here. That's it, just in the corner. Now the party's starting here. You want to reinforce this just to make sure it is scored very well. After you put the paper, you play so much with it. Okay, now it's just over here you don't want to cover the whole thing. So I'm going to put my fast fuse right here. I'm going to bring this. Match on this side, the side that it's no glue. Make sure it is right. Oh, it goes this way. I just want to trim this just a little bit here. That was my biggest challenge, to do my rectangle there. Here we go. And voila, it opened. Now we're going to take our snowman that it's already color. Oh, it's fitting perfect, perfect. And you know what? The snowman, we're going to use dimensional to put in. I think it needs something to be raised up. So we're going to take dimensional. Get the end of the thing here. Here we go. And close this. Voila, my friend. So now you got it. So when it opens, see? Voila. Very, very a fun fold. I won't say it's a simple fold. Maybe for some it's going to be easy. If I find a different way to cut that, make it easier, I'm going to make another video. But for now, this is how I came up with it. So hope you enjoyed that. And again, on the little eye, you're going to have the place to go right to my blog or in the description below to get the printout. So thank you so much, Barb, for the challenge. And you see, it stand up perfectly fine too. It's kind of cool the way it stand up. So thank you, Barb, for the challenge, and for all your Stampin' Up product, visit my blog at FrenchieStamps.com or right at the top where the I is. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.